Have you ever won a team fight, pushed the enemy back to their home node, and proceeded to lose the entire map in the process? And you watch as all of the nodes you just worked so hard to gain control of slip right through your fingers? Well, if so, then you've come across the biggest mistake players make in ranked PvP. In this video, we're going to look at how to avoid, recover from, and punish over-aggressive map control. In PvP, over-aggressiveness in all of its many forms can be punished by more patient and tactical players. In duels, well-timed counterattacks can put an overzealous enemy on the back foot. But what happens when a kill-hungry team ignores map stabilization in favor of chasing that next down state? In order to know why this happens, you need to understand how the respawn mechanic works. Every time a player is fully defeated in PvP, they go on a timer. In 15 seconds, they will respawn back at their base, alive, and able to fight again. Players can extend the time an enemy is out of commission by bleeding their downed body. What this means is that they leave them on the ground and let their down state's natural health regeneration finish them off, while stymieing any attempts they make to bandage their wounds and self-res. A player enters down state with 75% of their HP, and they lose 2.5% of this every second. There are traits such as a Necromancer's Last Rites that can slow or remove this health generation. However, without any outside interference or healing, downed bodies will naturally die after 30 seconds. When combined with the respawn timer, each proper bleed can give a numbers advantage on the map for around 45 seconds. One of the biggest problems a team that Zergs will find is that they may have a lot of kills, but the enemy team is still close or ahead in points. One of the reasons this happens is because they do not properly watch the nodes they own. In order to avoid this happening, there are two main strategies you'll need to learn. First, when you win a fight, make sure there is someone available to capture and watch the node. After capturing the node, the defender must stand nearby, which will make it easier to prevent any hostile invader from getting the decap. Second, never push for control over the third node in ranked unless you have solid control over two. If you win a teamfight at mid, before you push to the far node, take a look and see if the side node at your home node is contested. If it is, that means you also need to consider how many players they are contested by, how pressured they are, and who they are contested by. Now here are the correct rotations that you should make depending on these variables. If your side noder is in a 1v1, one of your team's damage dealers or roamers should rotate out to help them while the rest stay around mid. In this scenario, before making their decision, the roamer can take a look at far. If there is no defender, they can rotate out to decap while their damage dealer rotates home. At home, the rotators need to blitz the attacker in an effort to kill them as quickly as possible. If successful, the rotator should push back to mid for a potential teamfight, while the side noder stays in between mid and home. If your side noder is in a 1v2 and they are healthy, one or two of your team's damage dealers should rotate out to make the fight a 2v2 or 2v3. If they are able to win, they should rotate back to mid while the side noder again stays in between the two nodes. In a 2v3, if they are unable to win and the enemy is beginning to push the middle node again, one of them should rotate out to match numbers and leave the home node in a 2v2. If your side noder is in a 1v2 or more and they are pressured, one of your team's stealth classes or support should rotate to peel them out. When home is safely secured, winning the next team fight at mid is the indicator to push for control over the third node for a triple cap. Until this happens, it is almost always better to play for two nodes with a mobile class decapping. In order to recover from an improper push for three nodes, you need to look at the minimap and assess which two nodes your team still controls or has the best fighting chance of controlling. Then, play those two nodes until your team can stabilize them both to set up for the push. In this scenario, you may need to leave whatever node you're currently at in order to regain map control. In order to punish an over-aggressive enemy team, look to see which node or nodes they leave empty when they are pushing for the third node, and whether or not a defender is watching them. If there is no defender, your team's roamer should rotate out to decap and full cap both nodes, while the rest of your team goes to stall the enemy at home. If there is a defender, two members of your team should rotate out to outnumber their side noder before decapping and full capping, while the rest of your team goes to stall the enemy at home. In either of these scenarios, if the enemy attempts to recover from a bad push, the staller should attempt to slow down any enemy that splits off to recover the map. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed and learned something, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you know when I release new content. If you want to see more from my channel, click the links here. And as always, I'll see you soon.